popular Oba market in Benin City, the Edo state capital, has been razed. The fire, which burnt almost all the massive market, according to witnesses, started around 12:05 a.m. today and raged till 6 a.m. before it was put out by a team of firefighters. It was learned that there was no public electricity supply when the fire started, thereby ruling out the possibility of electrical spark, while the actual cause of the fire had not been ascertained. Many of the traders were crying uncontrollably over the loss of their valuable goods, estimated to be hundreds of millions of naira, while the demoralized traders were pleading with Governor Godwin Obaseki and others to come to their aid for their lives, for not to be miserable, having lost their sources of livelihood at this crucial period of COVID-19 pandemic. The ever-busy dualized road in front of the burnt market near Ring Road was cordoned off by policemen, with the traffic diverted to adjoining the roads and streets. Men of Edo State Fire Service, whose office is near the burnt market, were helpless as they gave flimsy excuses for not being able to put out the fire, ranging from lack of water and moribund trucks, making some passerby to thoroughly abuse and attack them. The Assistant Controller, Federal Fire Service in Asaba, Delta State, Samson Karibu, who was in Benin with his men on special assignment, greatly assisted to put out the fire. Karibu disclosed that the Chief Security Officer, CSO, to Obaseki called to inform him shortly after the fire started, thereby making him to quickly move to the scene with his men. The Assistant Controller, Federal Fire Service, revealed that he subsequently contacted other nearby firefighters from the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company (NPDC) Limited, a subsidiary of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Air Force and Edo State Fire Service, who later moved to the scene, but the main work was done by the Federal Fire Service. Karibo has assured that the inferno would be thoroughly investigated to know the cause in order to prevent similar incidents in the future. In spite of the early morning downpour, the fire was still smoldering at press time, but the fully armed policemen and other security agents did not allow hoodlums to loot the unburnt goods. Edo Police Public Relations Officers (PPRO) Chidi Nwabuzo, the Deputy Superintendent of Police (DSP), could not be reached for his reaction as at press time. This is really sad. Very, very sad. You know, there's been cases of burnt offices, burnt this, burnt this, burnt that, and at the end of the day, majority of these people, they are not insurance. Which insurance am I even talking about? We are talking of Nigeria, and I'm talking about insurance in this pandemic. You can imagine in this pandemic that things are just tough. No this to put up the fire, no water, no fire service. Those are the problems we've been having. Those are the things that we've been having. That's the problem we have been dealing with as a country. It's just unfortunate. How are these people going to start all over again? How are they going to start? Is government going to help them? Will government help them? How many people will they be able to help? Even if they want to help, it's just little things they are going to give to them. Why would they not cry uncontrollably? Why would they not will not cry uncontrollably? A lot of people do not have jobs, and the ones who have a little thing that they are doing, and you'll be surprised that majority of them are even on loan. This is really terrible, very terrible. This is another is a big loss, because the market is built, even it's government property that the people, even some of them will rent this thing. That is double jeopardy for the government as well. And at the end of the day, how many people will they be able to settle? It's unfortunate with the crisis going on in Edo State. Is really pathetic. Very pathetic. With the ongoing crisis here and there, who is going to have their time? Of course, they say that the governor's aide or whatever was contacted. But the unfortunate thing there is that even if you can imagine, because if these things were really things, all this whatever that we are supposed to have. Because the problem we've always have in this country is that they say that they will tell you, oh, this thing, there's no water, there's no this, there's no that, there's no this. Those are the small social amenities that we are supposed to be having. We don't get it. Those little things, we don't get it. At times, even the fire service, they will tell you they don't have water, they don't have enough water. Of course, a lot of people will be um relating this to something else, based on the crisis happening. Not that according to what we are hearing, there was not it was not a fire or electric outrage or something, any form of electrical spark. Okay, let me put it that way. Then what could have resulted to that? Because that is the only thing that most of the time that is only the cause of this thing. So let them do their investigation. It's always investigation, but the investigation is not even what we are talking about. What we are talking about, how will the people be able to get their feet back? How would they be able to get their feedback? I quite understand there's no total lockdown right from time in Benin, but even before now, apart from lockdown, we all know the situation we've been faced with in the country. Everybody just trying to manage. Everybody's trying to manage, put things to be able to put food on the table, to be able to feed their family. It's not as if they're even making enough gains. Even if they are going to settle them with how much is that going to be? Hmm. Before evening, Obaseki go dey blame Oshomole. Watch out. Okay. That is what happens when you have a governor instead of governing his people and protecting lives and property. Instead, he's busy fighting for his personal interests and those perceived not in support of his ambitions. This is the fourth market getting burnt under his watch. Really? Someone says this comment is really baseless. This is hate and ungodly comment. The fire that happened in the night in the market has nothing to do with the governor. Do you hate why do you really hate? Obviously, the market is on lockdown, and even if it is not, do you expect the governor to be in and around the market at night? This is hatred carried too far, and remember that is not loss, because God is going to judge all of us according to our doings on this earth. Please, if you are a Christian, read this Galatians 6 verse 7. Okay, you are pointing accusing finger at Governor Obaseki as if he's behind the fire. Okay, where you may be one of the enemies behind this sin, you should know that God is watching and will expose all of you one day. Obaseki is now the market security man. Can you imagine how people are trying to blame him? Of course, with what is happening, any little thing, people will just say, oh, it's because of this, it's because of this, it's because of that. Why is it that when it comes to protecting lives, goods, and services, this governor is never fast to react, but when it comes to a political issue, he's quick to project a gazette on the state? Don't you know there are precautions you can take to avoid further fire outbreaks? But he's too busy with politics to even think about that. Point of correction, I don't hate him. Obaseki, where is firefighter vehicles? You can't buy and continue from Osho Baba, yet you are giving PDP 8 billion that, you won't end well. I don't know where they signed an agreement. People just be, taking rumors, what they have not even founded any news. They say he gave 8 billion naira. I think maybe they saw the receipts. Just watch, Ayilala will soon display. I don't know why these people always talk about Ayilala, Ayilala. What is Ayilala? May God be with those whose goods are involved. So bad. I remember when Agbado Market got burnt then. My uncle's wife lost everything. It took only God to encourage her. Anyone behind this fire, God will surely disgrace such a person in Jesus' name. It's a big loss. This is political. It's calculated to incite the market men and women against our good governor. They are reducing the people's support of this government, having no regard for the masses. APC bad luck is playing out. We show where is fire service. You stayed there for 8 years without planning for the market. Shame. We show again. Why last night it rained almost everywhere last night? Where are the 10,000 policemen that was deployed to the states to monitor a political primary? This is another way to distract government's attention. If it is the handwork of some tyrants, I believe you and I know who is responsible to destabilize the government of the day. Like seriously? Pointing a finger when others are pointing at you. It was the same when Oshomole was governor, he even rejected the ones purchased by Professor Sumbo, why he didn't purchase any before he exited. This is a case of supporters of the kettle calling the pot black. I know that this is what is going to result where everybody will start to blame. But those who are affected, they are crying, they are wailing. So guys, let's hear your opinion. Leave your comment below. Thank you.